Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Lost. This is the finale of the 5th season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in a link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. Speaking about links in the description, we have been running our most likely to dislike characters of season 5, and your results and mine will be shown in today's intro. Hopefully you guys are excited, and I cannot wait to jump over and see you guys' results. Just before we do that, just a quick recap of the last episode. Interesting stuff that was going on. We found out that obviously Ben is the person that Locke intends to go and kill Jacob. Now, the people who actually crash landed onto the island on another plane, there actually seems to be recruits of Jacob. They seem to be working for them, the good guys, as they call themselves. When obviously, we had Frank saying that, usually the people that say they're the good guys are not really the good guys, are there? Now, we had an interesting, backstory, kind of like Jacob. We actually physically seen him in the flesh early on in the island. And then obviously we seen him off the island, and he's spoken to Kate when she was a little girl and touched her nose. He's spoken to Sawyer when he was a little boy at his mum and dad's funeral and touched his hand. And then obviously fast forward right into kind of the present day when Nadia and Saeed was crossing the road. He went over and asked Saeed for directions and touched his shoulder before obviously Nadia got run over. So it seems like he's kind of hand selecting these people to come to the island, and it seems like he's touching them every time. We even had a Jin and Sun wedding, and at their wedding he went over, he greeted them both, touched them at the side and said happy marriage or something like that before walking off. So very interesting stuff. I'm not too sure why he's hand selecting everybody, but I can't wait to see obviously why. They've gone on the island, like I said, the new people that have crash landed. Lana, seemed to know her in the past because he went and actually kind of recruited her while she seemed to be beaten up and hurt in hospital and said he needed her help. And now she's here, she's gone to the cabin. He's not actually there, but she's seeing that a knife and a note stabbed against the wall, which shows that big massive statue that was on the island that obviously we've seen get basically destroyed because we've only seen a foot that's left standing, haven't we, in previous seasons. So very, very interesting. Sorry, Kate and Juliet have managed to get off the submarine as well. Juliet managed to knock somebody out, get the keys, put the gun to obviously the to the pilot, whatever you call them, the captain. He's drove up, he's let them go while he's gone on his merry way. They've returned to the island. So that's where we currently are. If you want to watch today's full episode and just jump right into it, use a link in the description or the timestamps below. But if you're interested in watching the most likely to dislike characters of this season, then please do stick around because we're going to do that just right now. Okay, so here we are on our most disliked characters of season 5. Now, as your request, when we first had the votes up, we didn't have Roger, Eloise or Rosinski, but as the season's progressed and obviously the episodes have gone forward, they've staked a claim. You guys have asked for it and they are in there. Now, I've got to agree that they should actually be in there because actually reviewing this, I feel like it's got to be maybe one of the bottom 4. I don't think Eloise is too bad right now. I think it's quite interesting. She did shoot she did actually shoot Daniel in the back and kill him. And I was saying earlier on, basically, she's seen him in the island when he first come and told her about the hydrogen bomb, and you would have thought that she would have remembered his face because he pretty much looked exactly the same when she killed him this time. But one of you guys perfectly said that she shot him in the back. She never actually seen his face before he turned over and revealed that he was actually her son. And that was a fantastic comment because I never actually realised that myself. And another one that you guys have said, again, amazingly, is Rosinski. You said, do you remember what happened to him? He was also involved in the hatch. He was obviously obsessed with making it. You can see it in these episodes. And, I believe it was him that shot himself in the head that left a stain up there when Desmond, asked what that mark was. And again, that's just another amazing comment from you guys that obviously reminded me that we're tying everything back into the stories, and it's really, really good. Now, in my personal opinion, Roger has been really annoying. I always think what's his problem, man? The guy's moody about Ben all the time, and then when Ben gets injured, then he cares for him real bad. And I understand that because he's his dad, but then he's just arsey again with everybody else. And he was fuming with Kate, even though she was giving him blood and she was trying to keep him optimistic. And then he went into the classroom and he kicked the bucket out, didn't he? And moaned at Jack, and he's always drinking as well. And he shot Saeed last episode, so it's out of him and Rosinski for me. I just feel like he's a big moaner as well, Rosinski. He actually really is. He's picked up in the last few episodes. He's taken authority. He's overruled Horace and Dr. Chang. Do you know what I mean? He wants to continue doing the drilling. It's his reason why all of this is happening. He was beating up Sawyer. He was beating up Juliet. Do you know what I mean? He's taking control, and I'm actually going to pick him. But for a long time, it was Roger that was stressing me out. So Rosinski, he's won my dislike vote for this season. I'm interested to see your guys' result. Here is the most disliked characters of season 5. Rosinski has taken the top spot with Widmore in second and Roger in third place. Now, interestingly, compared to the Patreon, we still had Rosinski, who did take top spot, but second was Roger and third was Widmore. Now, Bram has actually come in fourth, which is interesting because he's not even really been in the show a lot, and I put him in at the time because when we started the poll, he was kind of first introduced, and I thought maybe he would be a character that people may dislike. Well, obviously you don't like him. He's nearly took third place. But I actually never really had Roger in the vote, and I never had Rosinski originally. It was only you guys commenting, obviously, as I was progressing through the season, to say stick them in there, and well, you guys are correct, because the three characters that I didn't really think was going to get anything has actually pretty much taken up all of the votes, so that is very interesting. Now, Sawyer and Kate have got 1, Lockson and Jack of 2, which I think is pretty interesting, to be honest, how people dislike Sun this season. I'm not saying he's had a bad season or a great one, but, you know, I've not really seen her actually get some dislikes before, so that's very, very interesting. And now I cannot wait to see who you guys choose for your most favourite character of season 5. Here we are in our most liked characters of this season. Now, I actually don't think this is tough. I feel like it's just between 2 people, if I'm being honest. I don't feel like anybody's really had a standout season. I don't feel like you could say everybody's been so good, you know, like this is like the first time we haven't even had Claire on the list. You know, she's been absent. We've had, I feel like quite a few people have been heavily absent as well. You know, Jin missed quite a bit of it until he returned, and then obviously he's been in drips and drabs. You know, Charlotte died kind of early on. Daniel's not been in it very much. You know, I had Bram and Lana there because obviously I didn't know what part they was going to play when we started to do the votes. You know, the bottom 4 definitely can't get the most liked. You know, you got Ben, clear front runner, obviously, with Sawyer. I think it's a 2-horse race, if I'm being honest. Everybody else has played their little bit apart. To be honest, I think Hurley's had a good season. I actually do. I liked what he's done. I liked him trying to build the relationship between Miles and his dad as well. But I do think, again, it's a 2-horse race. And, you know, I'm actually going to pick this season a winner that I've already picked. I think I picked Ben and Sawyer before, but I'm actually going to pick Sawyer again. I just feel like his character progression and everything that he's done, and he's so good. I just like him. I think he's improved so much. You know, he's different since season 1. I always say that. He's caring about people. He's always trying to protect them. You know what I mean? He's with Juliet now, and I really like that, but I feel sorry for Juliet because obviously he still kind of loves Kate, and you can't really blame him for that because they never really broke up. But you know what I mean? Like, it's a tough one, that one, in terms of that, because he's had 3 years, he's built a relationship with Juliet now, he loves her as well, but you can still love Kate in a different way, or you can still have mixed feelings, because you never broke up, you know, you never parted ways, you never disliked each other, you sacrificed yourself for her. And I understand earlier on in the season when Horace was asking, is 3 years enough to get over somebody, and he said yeah, it is, it actually is. But then when that person keeps coming back into your life and they're always infiltrating it, do you know what I mean, and they're always there, he tried to get on a submarine to get away with Juliet, and then who turns up? Kate. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what he's doing, she's always there, and he's always taking part. And Juliet can also see the little glimpses and glances that he does, and I feel sorry for her, I really do, and I can't blame any of them because it's just the way the story's gone. But I feel like Sawyer's the most liked character for me. I really do enjoy him, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ben that takes it, but let's have a look. Here is the most liked characters of Season 5. Ben and Sawyer is tied for top spot. Very interesting, with Juliet taking the 3rd place. Now, if we compare that again to the Patreon, we did have, I think it was Sawyer, Ben, and Locke in the top 3. So Locke has actually pretty much gained no votes, it looks like, since obviously we've taken it over to the YouTube. Desmond has got 1. You know, maybe people was enjoying him beating up Ben after he got shot. You know, that was really interesting. I like how Miles has got 3 votes. I actually like how he's kind of been pretty loyal towards Sawyer, to be honest. It's been a pretty good introduction, him. You know what, I'm not going to lie, I didn't know how I would feel about him when he first got brought into the show. But I don't actually mind him. I do feel like he's pretty decent. I liked his backstory as well. And I do like he always calls Sawyer boss as well, and he kind of respects him. Good little twist as well, of his dad being Dr. Chang. That was good as well. You know, Locke, I feel like he's a really good just all-round character for the show, whether he's being a good guy or a bad guy, you know what I mean? He's always in there, he's always making it exciting. But, you know, it makes me kind of happy that Juliet's getting quite a bit of loving, and she's obviously taken the third place. Now, this excites me because obviously when I do these votes, I'm not really too sure how people obviously like feel for the characters, you know, going into the seasons and the shows, and as we are going into obviously the final season of the show as well, you know, it leads me on to a decent segue, is that we have got a vote now running here. Look at this one. Who is your all-time favorite top characters? You know what I mean? You get 3 votes allowed. And it's displayed differently. It looks pretty good, to be honest. I'm loving the way it is. And you could go down and you could pick 3 of them. So far, 29 people have taken part. Or, well, 29 votes. You get 3 each. But what I mean is you could go through, and when you select it, it will do an aggregate. So do you know what I mean? It will not just show the way it does here. It will obviously just aggregate everybody's after you've done 3 votes. And it'll be really exciting to see when we get into the final, obviously, episode. Because I've done this on many other shows before. And you get characters that you don't expect that make an appearance in there because people get more than 1 chance to vote for somebody. Do you know what I mean? So this is where it gets good. If I've missed anyone, let me know. But I feel like I've pretty much hit every single person that should have technically played a decent factor in some sort of the show. Do you know what I mean? And you could go in there, you can vote. I'm not going to reveal them now. When you do your vote, you can see who's currently winning. And then it'll lead us on to another segment in winning on the next show, because we've only got 1 season left, which is going to be the next one on the channel. And as you can see, we've done this 5 times before. Well, 6 times, because when we do the next one, Lost is going to make it in there. So this is the 7th time going for it. And currently, I believe Prison Break is absolutely smashing it, with over 300 votes, and that's more than anybody's ever won before if you look on that screen. So if you want to change it, get voting for it. We're also changing upload schedules on the channel as well. Patreon is going to be daily, but YouTube, I'm going to drop it to weekly and take weekends off because I'm traveling a lot. I've got 30 days travel in the next like 3 months, and my head just gets absolutely blown trying to watch everything, edit everything, get it uploaded. And as you've noticed so far in the show, in one of the seasons, we messed up on one of the upload schedules and done the same episode like twice or something. And then he uploaded it like 2 episodes in advance, the one that was missed. So it goes all over the place when traveling. So dropping it down to weekly and daily on the Patreon. So if you're interested, get over there. There's all the votes going onto the channel. And I'd like to thank every single person that has actually taken part in them. We do run a lot, but it's all worth it, and I love it, seeing what everybody's opinions are. And now I'm back to the main page to say, again, big thank you to everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed today's finale. The season 6 is starting to be uploaded onto the Patreon as well. If you want to get a couple of early episodes in advance, get over there, get subscribing, you know, and you're going to get the daily content as well when we go into the next season. Have your say in the link in the description. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Previously on Lost.
Jack is...
Why the hell are we stopping?
That's why.
What's going on, Kate?
Doc, we gotta talk.
You want to talk, then get in the van. We don't have
Ain't
time.
getting in the van. 5 minutes, that's all. Say what I gotta say, and then you can do whatever the hell you want. But you're gonna listen. You owe me that much, Jack.
5 minutes.
The dural sac. I cut it. Give me some suction. Leaking everywhere. I can't.
Look at me.
Give me some suction.
Yes, doctor.
Jack, count to 5. Count to 5. And then fix her, Jack.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I just think doctors are mad me. They baffle me how talented they are. Oh, that's fuming, that.
Hey, kiddo.
You embarrassed me. You put me in a timeout during my first major procedure in front of my entire team. I know you don't believe in me, but I need them to.
Are you sure I'm the one who doesn't believe in you, Jack?
You know what? The more I see of his dad, I don't think he's that bad.
Guess I just needed a little push.
Look at that, finger touching. Well, I'm happy that I picked up the touching last episode before it become obvious. I think I'd done it after the Saeed one, but I don't think his dad's that bad, me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he embarrassed him in there. To be fair, he got him to recover himself. Jack looked like he was in panic mode. You know what I mean? And I was going to say, as he was doing a procedure, how would you learn that? And then Jack was saying that was his first time. So it was his first time and he made a small mistake. Everybody can rectify mistakes. You just got to rectify it quickly, not let it drag out. Like he said, she could have been paralysed. He just come in, he was like, take a deep breath, calm down, and go and smash it. That's basically all he said. Didn't embarrass him. And like he said, the person that's not believing in yourself, that's you. It's not me. I was actually motivating you.
Folks died when I was 8 years old. Ever tell you that? Con man took my dad for everything he had. He shot my mom. Then he blew his own head off. I was hiding under the bed when it happened. Right now, it's July 1977, which means that happened last year. I could have hopped on a sub, gone back to the States, walked right into my house, stopped my daddy from killing anybody. What did you screw up so bad the first time around? You're willing to blow up a damn nuke just for a second chance.
3 years ago,
Good question.
Locke told me that all of this was happening for a reason. Being here was our destiny.
I don't speak destiny. What do you want, Jack?
I had her, and I lost her.
Well, damn, Doc, she's standing right on the other side of those trees. You want her back? Just go and ask her. I guess there's nothing I can say that's gonna change your mind.
I guess there's not.
I can knock you out.
Think you can come here and do whatever the hell you want? I have life here!
You don't get it.
Oh, right in the nuts.
Will you stop?
No.
No.
James, we have to do this.
You're the one that told me to come back here and stop him. What happened?
I changed my mind.
Oh, she's pregnant. That's what I'm going with. I don't really know. I'm actually going with she's pregnant. But what I'm actually thinking is, you know, somebody like Jack, he had a decent life before. Somebody like Juliet, again, she had a decent life before. Yeah, okay, she had a husband and that she was getting divorced, or she was divorced, but she had a sister who was getting better and having a kid, and, you know, if she could reverse it and go back, then her life's still pretty decent. But then if you look at him, sorry, his life wasn't that good. He was always on the run. He killed somebody. Look at Kate. She was on the run again. She was in handcuffs. You know, she's probably getting put away. You know, Locke was in a wheelchair. His life wasn't better. There's many people on this island that are actually in a better position. I personally think that Hurley's life is better on the island. Okay, he's got $150 million or whatever, but, like, his life is full of paranoia. He had loads of bad things happening to him. He wasn't good, was it, at home? And here on the island, he's free, and he's doing whatever he wants to do. He seems happy. He doesn't seem like he's losing it. Oh, well, back in the mainland, he always seems like he is. And, you know, I understand where, like, some of them are coming from, but, like, when Jack was saying what's done is done or whatever, well, that's what Sawyer said, you know what I mean? What's done is done. I kind of believe that. I don't think they can really technically change it, but I feel like they're hopeful. I'm interested to see how it plays out, if I'm being totally honest. I feel like something's going to happen to Juliet. I actually really do.
Your dad and I have something we need to talk to you both about.
They're getting a divorce.
Rachel,
Well, aren't you?
Yes.
but we need you both to understand that your father and I, we still love each other. When you're a grown-up, you'll understand.
Juliet, wait.
Oh, Juliet.
Understand?
Stop! We gotta talk about this. I need you to tell me where all this is coming from. I got a right to know why you changed your mind.
Changed my mind when I saw you look at her.
I'm with you.
What we had, it was just for a little while. And just because we love each other, it doesn't mean that we're meant to be together.
But she needs to get off the
If I
island.
never meet you, then I never have to lose you.
What is it now? The Gauss readings just jumped off the charts. Hostile that shot the kid, he came back. He attacked us and then got rescued by some of the other recruits. They stole a van and took off. They're coming here, we're gonna be ready for them.
Yeah, my talk with Sawyer didn't go so good. Kate, why'd you make me promise to never ask about Aaron?
Because I was so angry with you for making me come back here.
This works. Claire will never come to the island, and they'll always be together just the way they're meant to be.
She was gonna come up for adoption.
Well, you don't know
Jack.
what she would do. Nothing in my life has ever felt so right. I just need you to believe that. It's about to happen. Are you with me on this?
Yes.
I actually think this is the best version of fucking Jack. I just think he looks good, even though he's beaten up.
$227 cash, one fruit roll-up. There's a cab stand right out front.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see what was taken. Actually, I'm only going a few blocks if you want to share. Cool, you sure? Come on in.
Well, I wasn't in jail.
Well, then what were you doing sitting outside of prison?
I was waiting for you, Hugo. I want to know why you won't go back to the island.
Because I'm cursed? That's why the plane crashed? My friends died?
What if you were blessed? You get to talk to the people you've lost? It seems like a pretty wonderful thing to me. You are not crazy. Nigeria Airways Flight 316 out of LAX. It leaves in 24 hours. All you have to do is be on that plane. Your choice, Hugo.
There's his top look. You know what's actually interesting is, you know, Hurley thinks that he's crazy. And to be honest, he's kind of been portrayed like a little bit. But is it crazy just because you can see something? So like he's just actually said, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a gift. You can see Libby. You can see Charlie. You can speak to your friends and family who've passed away. Now, to other people, it's far-fetched and strange, and they might think it's a little weird, but, like, as long as you just act sanely, then what actually is wrong with that? Like I said, we've had it in the Vampire Diaries before. Gonna do a spoiler, so if you want to do, skip ahead. But obviously Jeremy and his girlfriend, was it Anna? You know what I mean? She died, and he could speak to her, he could see her, he could touch her. He was the only person that knew she was around. He was a physical person for him. He could have every bit of contact, kiss, hug, whatever's, but nobody else could see him. And I raised a question at that time. Is that weird? You know what I mean? Like, if he wanted to still be in that relationship with her, would that be strange? Because to him, she's a physical person that he can always have a contact with. And it's like Hurley here, you know what I mean? Looking at it in that way, that Jacob's kind of said it. Just because you can see them doesn't make you crazy. What makes you crazy is doing insane things. It actually is, isn't it? So I thought that was a pretty good twist and a different outlook on it.
Everything will be fine when Jack changes the future. Or the past. We were just up on a ridge where we could look down into the Swan site. Something just happened down there.
It's rigged to explode on impact. According to Faraday's plan, you must get the bomb as close as you can to the source of electromagnets.
I hope he don't die. Going into the final season, man.
See you in Los Angeles.
I actually think it's going to work. I feel like it's going to be the plane crash didn't happen in season 6.
Why are we stopping?
You'll see.
Well, it's a wonderful foot, Richard, but what does it have to do with Jacob?
That's where he lives.
Oh, okay. That must be the question that they asked, you know, what lies between the bottom of the foot or something. Lock. I knew it. I just don't understand really why he's going around getting everybody.
Are you sure you need to do this? If you waited, Jacob would eventually come to you, John.
I'm tired of waiting.
What happened to the rest of the statue?
I don't know. It was like that when I got here.
What are you doing?
John wants me to join him.
You can't bring him in.
Why not?
Because only our leader can request an audience with Jacob.
Ben is coming in with me, and if that's a problem, I'm sure Jacob and I can work it out.
I reckon Ben's just as interested as Locke, to be fair, because he said he's never seen him before.
Tell him I said hello.
I know it won't be easy, but things will change once he's gone.
I thought he was going to do the Russo thing where he gives him a gun that's not loaded and see if he's willing to do it.
Has it occurred to any of you that your buddy's actually going to cause the thing he says he's trying to prevent? So maybe the best thing to do is nothing?
That is a good question, that.
I'm glad you all thought this through.
Live together and die alone.
Live together, die alone, eh? Jax. See, Jack shouldn't be able to get in now, should I? Surely, there's so many of them. Who's this?
Sorry, Bill, you're dead, man. Okay. Tell him, put the guns. Drop the gun, drop the gun.
Oh, you're coming in clutch.
Come on now, Doc. Hurry up, do your business.
It could literally be everybody's life gone, just like that, in 1 second. How scary would that be, though? It would be so scary, wouldn't it? Imagine. They'll think it's not happened, and then it's just gonna go boom. Oh, it's pulling everything. We've seen this before, haven't we? Before it explodes.
Get in! What the hell's going on?
Oh, they didn't get dragged in, though.
Hey, the floor!
Oh, that's a ruthless one. He was so annoying, him, actually. Kate's got her right now. Oh, yeah, Sawyer. They're gonna tease us, she's gonna go.
Kate! Let me get those chains off!
I got you. Don't you leave me.
It's okay.
Don't you leave me.
I love you so much.
No!
I knew she was gonna die. I called it like 2 episodes ago. I just had a feeling. Ah, what a piss take. I had a feeling that was going to happen. You know, I'm glad I called it before it happened, but I'm fuming. I'm not going to lie, I'm actually fuming about it.
Which one of you is Ricardo's?
It's Richard, actually.
What lies in the shadow of the statue? I have something you need to see.
Where did you find him?
In the cargo hold of the plane we came here on.
What the fuck? It's 2 Johns.
I don't understand.
Yo, that one's confusing.
If this is Locke, who's in there?
I mean, at least this guy knows that Ben didn't technically want to kill him. Yo, I didn't expect Locke to come out of that box. I'm not even going to lie. Whoa, what's happening now?
You like it?
Found your loophole.
Indeed I did. And you have no idea what I've gone through to be here.
I reckon it's a man on the island that we seen in the first episode with Jacob when he was introduced.
Do what I asked you to, Ben.
Is the man that was sat on the beach, because he said that one day I'll find a loophole to kill you.
You can do what he asks, or you can go.
So now, after all this time, you've decided to stop ignoring me. All those lists, and I never questioned anything. I did as I was told. But when I dared to ask to see you myself, I was told, you have to wait. But when he asked to see you, he gets marched straight up here as if he was Moses. What was it that was so wrong with me? What about me?
What about you?
See, if I was Ben, he'd be getting stabbed.
They're coming.
I don't technically 100% know kind of what's just happened there. I definitely know. I think I followed it. I think I did, mate. You know, the guy that was on the island with Jacob when he was first introduced, that sat down and said, one day I'm going to kill you. And then he was like, yeah, whatever. And he said he'll find a loophole. John is that loophole. I'm saying that that guy that was on the beach is John. And John may actually be dead. I'm not too sure how he's housed a body that he can come back to the island. That is obviously later to be described. First of all, I don't blame Ben for killing him. He's come in there, basically said, I've followed you for 35 years. I've done this, I've done that. You know, you never wanted to speak to me. Every time I requested it, you ignored me. You picked somebody else. Why this all special? Yeah, what about you? Guy didn't even read the situation. He's supposed to be the almighty Jacob. Knows everything about the island. Guy doesn't age. He could go off and on. He's choosing everybody. Reading. He didn't read that one at all. I literally, like, if I was Ben, it would have... That conversation motivated me more to stab him. And I actually said to Ben, I would stab him now. That I actually would. Like, he didn't try to deflect or put down the situation. You know what I mean? Like, he would have thought that he would have known that that was the reason it was happening, that guy going to try and kill him. But now, I also know that he's spoken to the woman outside when she was in the hospital bed with her face taped up. And he said they're coming to that guy just then. And I feel like he's already planned maybe this and he knows it's going to happen. And they're working for him anyway. And I feel like he brought them... So I don't really know. I feel like it could be like a double twist of Jacob. I actually have no idea. It's like Mary Jane, she's totally hit at the bottom. Oh, she's alive! She's alive. I definitely thought she would have died, especially all them pipes coming down as well. Ah, she can do it. She can set the bomb off, I guess. What would your final words be when you're about to trigger it? See you later, alligator. Boom.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Well done, Juliet. You know what? Fair play, do you know what I mean? Oh, is this the first ending that we've had? Nah, I think we've had one white ending before, haven't we? Maybe when Desmond did it. It's strange seeing it end in white, to be honest. You know, it actually really is. If that's the end of Juliet, fair play. She was a good character that was introduced. You know, you can either love her or hate her. In certain situations, she's a proper stress. You know, in other situations, she's really good. You know, I feel like every show needs to add characters in throughout the seasons. They actually do. You know what I mean? 6-season show, bring someone in season 2, season 4. Do you know what I mean? Mix up the cast a bit, drop some people out, give some people some airtime. She's been a good addition. Now, it kind of stressed me out, the fact that, you know, her and Sawyer kind of broke up in this episode, in the way of, obviously, because of Kate. But then I'm not throwing no hate towards Kate's way at all in this certain situation. We've had it, we've talked about it, we've discussed it, haven't we? We all know that there was on and off. They both have mixed feelings for each other. Sawyer's hardcore fell in love with Kate. He sacrificed himself for it, didn't he? So that she could survive. And then obviously he's rocked with his life after that decision, knowing that he's obviously hopefully saved her and his child, and obviously, you know, moved on with wherever he is in 77 with Juliet, found a new love. But doesn't mean his old one isn't still part of him. And obviously she's returned to the island, no fault of Sawyer's, and obviously the connection's a little bit there, and she can't get away from the situation. She's always seemed to implement herself here and there. She's trying to do good, you know what I mean? Like, the reason why she got on the submarine wasn't because she wanted to get with Sawyer, it was because she was trying to get away and she didn't think Jack was doing the right thing. Do you know what I mean? So I can't really stress on it. I could just see it was slowly dwindling. It was taking its toll on, obviously, Juliet. Now, with Juliet, you know, I had a feeling, the last few episodes, that she was going to die. I've said it quite a bit, actually. Don't know why. I just get them inclined sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, I just get it. I felt it. And if she's gone, Which, you know, I thought that Desmond was going to die when he flicked that thing. You know, you could say, oh, you're stupid. Clearly she's got... Well, Desmond, he was next to a big old hatch full of radiation and turned that key, and somehow he's still been in the show, hasn't he? So, you know what I mean? I'm not going to put it past anything. But down there, even in pain after falling, you know, probably getting stabbed as well, knowing that she's going to die, she still triggered it. So, I like the emotions of Sawyer, me, to be honest, when he was over the top and he was holding her and she was dangling. You know, kind of reminded me about Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, you know, in Spider-Man, where he's obviously got her on the web and he's trying to grab her and she obviously flies all the way down. She just bangs her head, Mary Jane. It was a wounder and it was intense, and that's what that was. It actually got me proper sweating. I'm no joke, after this outro, it's getting launched off this, I've literally got sweaty pits. Always gets me going. And then, you know, other interesting informations have been revealed, you know. Looks like Jacob's been killed, but I don't know. Again, I won't put it past the island. My question is, what's happening with Christian and what's her name now, Claire? Last time we seen them, they was together in a hut. Was it Jacob's hut? And then they both kind of disappeared. Obviously, Christian's took parts here and there. He hadn't been on the island, and I think he welcomed maybe Saeed and Son to the house. You know what I mean? Where the others was at that one time. Or maybe it was Ben, I can't remember. But you know what I mean? He's been in it. I thought that he could potentially have been alive because John, yeah, like he come to the island dead, and then obviously he's been roaming around. But it looks like he actually is dead still. And I don't know how there's two bodies of John. That's what's interesting. You know what I mean? Like, I could understand the carcass of John being taken over by an entity of, say, Jacob, or whoever this guy is. But I don't understand how you've got a carcass that's dead, John Locke, and then another one, a human form, walking around that's somebody else. It's very strange. But this show does mad things, and I can't wait for them to try and explain this to us to get us to understand it in the next season. Okay, that's going to wrap up the finale of Season 5. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. Very interesting the way we ended. I actually kind of think that next season... So this is going to be my prediction. I think that we're going to start next season back in Season 1 territory, where nobody's been to the island, nobody knows who each other is, and I feel like we're going to start the next episode maybe getting boarding on the plane again, or being in the airport and the situations that we're seeing, you know. I'm not too sure how the season's going to play out because it's 17 episodes, and I do feel like I feel like Jack, whatever he intended to do, will work for them. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that they're all going to go back to LAX, and I feel like they're all potentially going to meet each other for the first time on the plane. What I'd be interested in is to see if any of them still have memories, because every time we've done a time jump so far, every time we've moved locations, every time we've gone back in time into the future or whatever, everybody's kind of remembered everything. Now, it'd be interesting because, obviously, if we do go back and Jack does reset it, that means Claire's there and she's pregnant. And then my question would be, what happens to Aaron in the present? I.e., like, he is back in the mainland, or whatever you want to call it, you know, back in New York or wherever they're from. And he's there with his grandma. Like, if they reset it, does she just forget her memory as well, that she's got a grandson? Does he just disappear and go back inside of Claire? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? But I actually do think that that's what we're going to do, or that's what we're going to go with at the start of next season. I feel like we're going to reset. We're going to see Jack in the airport. He's going to be in his suit. We're going to have, obviously, Jin and Son there as well. When he was boarding, he was behind Jack. It's going to be interesting. Maybe Kate's with the air marshal again. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? But that's what I'm going for right now. I don't know if Juliet's out of the show or not. I've said before, you know, I thought Desmond was going to be completely out of it. I thought he died and then he's returned in many different scenes. I feel like we could do that with Juliet, you know. But it's 17 episodes and I don't know how we're going to conclude. The only thing that, you know, basically, usually if you go into a final season, you go with a continuous story, don't you? Like, and you play it off and something that you can get behind. You don't usually start a new story when you go into a final season of the show, do you? You usually continue from, say, season 5 into season 6 and get everybody kind of anticipated and emotions going and what's going to happen next, and then conclude it happy or sad. It's just the way it is. But here, do you know what I mean? I feel like we could do a full-on factory reset. We could just pretend everybody's okay. We could, you know, put everybody back to how it was, nobody knowing each other. Maybe we could introduce Boone and Shannon back into it. Do you know what I mean? That would be very, very interesting. It'd be great, actually. I would love that. I'm not gonna lie, I would absolutely love that if we introduce a couple of them back in. Bring Charlie back a few episodes, bring Shannon, bring Boone, and we'll go from there. But You know, everybody's kind of put their life on the line today. Everybody put the trust in Jack. You know, everybody's kind of followed Locke / whoever this dude is. I really do think that it's not Locke, and it is the person that was sat on the beach when Jacob was first introduced into his human kind of form, when that ship was obviously coming to the island. I have no idea how we're going to conclude it with Eloise and Widmore. You know, they've got a massive part to play in this. They actually really, really do, don't they? They know loads of stuff about the island. They've been there before. They've ruled it. Widmore's always wanted to get back. Do we know his intentions of why he actually always wanted to get back? You know, I don't think that's ever been clear to me, unless I've missed it. But I know that he's always tried to. I've seen him bidding at the auction for, you know, the diary or whatever it was, information on the ship. But why does he want to find it again? What is it there that he wants to attain? And does he know about the jumps and all that? Was that his goal all the time? I actually have no idea. But I thought the season was really good. You know, I've loved jumping back and forward into time. It's been really confusing. It's been really interesting. You know, I feel like as you guys currently, obviously we looked at the start of the episode at the favourite seasons, and this one's clearly winning so far out of the, you know, out of the 6 from your guys' majority vote. I have to feel like I agree with you that it's definitely in the top 3. Now, obviously, when I sit down and sit back and after I've watched them all, it could go to the first. You know, this is just a quick reflection on it. I have to just go back to each season, remember which story it was. I always fall for season 1s, to be honest, because like a season 1, I usually get the gist of it, and it's like if it don't hook me, then, you know, I'm not a big fan. If it's really good, then we sit and continue obviously all the way through. And it's like season 1s, I feel like they always get you, but then they never get enough credit because it's the first one. And you always progress forward and it kind of gets better. But that was the OG that got you there. So it's going to be interesting to go back and look at each character's storylines, who was there, what interested me in each season. I liked this one. Like I said, it consistently got the brain going. I like how the fact that we wasn't always in a jungle. I know that, like, we are on the island, and that's the way, obviously, the story is. But if you've watched the 100 before, we kind of changed planets, and then when they went back to the green one, you know, it felt like home again. You know what I mean? It felt like, yes, this is where we started. And this has been good because obviously we've gone to obviously the main part, and then we've seen them in the casual everyday life, and then we've seen everybody struggling here. Then we've seen them come back, and then people in one timeline like Sun and Saeed, and then obviously in the other timeline where we've got obviously Jack and Kate and Sawyer, and then we've got everybody trying to kind of come together collectively, which has still not happened. You know, Sun is still in a different timeline to Jin. Both of them have no idea if both of each other are alive. You know what I mean? All season they've been trying to get at each other. We've had an interesting story obviously with Saeed going around killing everybody as well with Moore's organisation. He's been working for Ben. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's been a very good season full of different storylines. Different characters have had their own time. You know, we've been up and down here and there, confusing, entertaining, got our minds going, interesting, and obviously some oh my god moments, kind of like the Juliet one at the end there. Didn't expect her to die. Anticipated it, but the way she done it and how intense and how it got me sweating, you know what I mean? It was really good. They pulled it off really well. Now, obviously, it's left me hanging. I actually have no idea how next season's going to be. You know what I mean? Have they been successful? Have they not? So overall, it's been a great season, and I've really enjoyed it. I'd like to thank every single person that's obviously taken part in the most likely to dislike characters vote. You know, going into the final season, there is obviously in all of the descriptions going to be a vote for the next show, which looks like it's going to be Prison Break right now, which is also going to be a new vote that's going to be put in there for your favourite characters throughout the whole franchise. That is right, you know, 3 characters you could pick, just like we did with the 3 seasons, and the top 3 will be aggregated and shown in the final episode. So it's going to have characters like Shannon, like Boone, like Ben. You know, it's going to have Mr. Echo. It's going to have Juliet, Jack, Kate, Sawyer, Widmore. You know, you might love him. You know what I mean? But he's in there. Do you know what I mean? We're going to have Desmond. Every single person that you can think that has had a bit of an impact in the show is going to be there. Whether it's going to be a one-season wonder like Charlotte, maybe, or whether it's going to be somebody who's going to be in here for the long haul like Jake Cat Sawyer. So it's going to be interesting. Can't wait to see you guys choose. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you did enjoy it, please smash a like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.